What drives me is really a two-part answer. The first part is professionally. What drives me is I tell people I'm on a personal crusade to help people make leadership a way of life. I believe that's the way to go. I believe that's what is missing in the world, and so that drives me to help, whether it's person by person or group by group, but that drives me professionally. Make leadership a way of life. Personally, it follows the same thing. You know, as a parent, as a father, I'm an example to 3 grown sons, a daughter-in-law, to a granddaughter. You know, it's helping the next generation, which starts with my own family, helping them make leadership a way of life because they're the future. And to the extent that I can drive that, then that's what drives me. I grew up in the military. I was born into the military. My father was a career Army officer, and you know, I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So in the 20 years that my dad was in the service as the oldest, we moved around 26 times in the 20 years that we were in the service. You know, twice during that 20-year period, my dad went to Vietnam. The second time in the late 60s, where you know, as a 10-year-old, I find myself the oldest of 6 boys at home as the man of the house with a pregnant mother, and you know, I'm that guy. When I was 12, set 2 goals for myself. The first was to join Boy Scouts and become an Eagle Scout, which I did 2 years later. The second, largely influenced by the military upbringing, I set a goal to do what I needed to do to get accepted to and graduate from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, which I did 10 years later. You know, a major transition point in my life was probably when I left the military when I was 33. Now you have to understand that I went to West Point. That was my career goal since I was 12 years old. I wanted to go to West Point. I did. I graduated, and quite frankly, you don't go through the military academy experience unless you know you want to do that as something of a career. So I was halfway through to retirement, 11 years specifically, when the Berlin Wall came down, the Cold War ended, and all of a sudden my services were no longer required by the military. So I was raised in the military. I went right from high school to West Point. I went from West Point right into the Army. So at 33 years of age, I find myself as the sole breadwinner of a family of 3 young boys and a wife, of having to make decisions that I had never had to make before. Things such as health care, things such as paying taxes, believe it or not, things such as, you know, how and where do I find a job? So the beginning of my civilian career, shall we call it, was started at Sprint, and it was really, I could tell early on that the military background was going to work in my favor. I found out very early on that this attitude of I can do it, whatever project is put in front of me, I can do it, it's just a matter of how long it'll take. And as a project manager, of course, that's all you do is work on projects. And so the harder projects, I found others around me that were more senior at Sprint that said, you know, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that, or whatever the case may be. I'd raise my hand and said, well, maybe there's some things I don't understand, but my attitude is I can do it.